Hey guys, I'm Dave Thomas and welcome to BowHunterPlanet. On today's show, we are doing a battle royale with three of the best bows in the industry. We're going to take a look at how they compare versus each other and get your opinions on what you guys think is the best of these three bows. But before we do that, we just want to say a special thanks to the companies who help this show continue. And also, if you get anything good out of this video today, please make sure you hit that like button, share the video. It really helps to go a long way. And if you're really feeling good, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. All right, let's get into it. So you really have to ask yourself, what is it in these bows I really want? You know, out of these three bows, which we're gonna look at in a second here, these are some of the best shooting bows in the industry today. And those bows conclude the Mathews Phase 4 33, the PRIME REVEX 4, and the HOYT VTM 34. Now, talking about some basics between these three bows are not apples to apples. In fact, they are apples to oranges to plums. They are so far out of context with each other, mainly because the technologies on each of these bows are so far different from each other. Even though they are all compound bows, they do differ in a lot of different things. So let's start with the Mathews. So the Mathews Phase 433 is definitely different than the other two, mainly because it actually has 4 limbs on top and 4 limbs on bottom. So this year Mathews launched this with these quad limb idea, and you have a piece of rubber that goes in between here. It's a phase dampening, they call it, goes in between your limbs. So these are actually separate limbs. So this is new technology, has not been done before, and it's very different technology. They do feature the switch weight cam system, which they've had for a few years now. The bow also added in the bridge lock concepts where you can put your sight through the riser here. You can also put your stabilizer, specifically Mathews has their own now that can go right through the riser. So what this does is gives you the ability to harness the use of your riser to take up some of that space. The Mathews also features the Engage grip. This is a grip they've had for a few years. It's definitely not my favorite grip in the industry here, but it's a decent grip. A lot of people do like it, and it does very good for them. The bow does have obviously harmonic dampening on it and a whole bunch of other great little features of Mathews, but again, you know, this system, the way you see it, the way it works today, is a very good system. It's a tried and true system. It's right off the V3X platform, which was also off the V3 platform. So no matter which way you shape it, the bow has a great platform and it works very well. Moving on to the PRIME REVEX 4. This bow features the new core cam, and what this did for PRIME is it basically allowed them to get to that 31-inch draw length, is what they struggled with last year. And this cam is very smooth and it shoots very, very good. This bow is a great feeling bow. Their grip is absolutely fantastic. It is a 2-piece grip, which you can see it comes in the back and then the front. And basically it kind of feels like you're holding a carbon bow, to be honest, because it takes away any feel of cold or hot and just feels room temperature every time you're holding it. So it feels very good in your hand. They have the nice curve at the bottom in the riser, which you gotta love that. Good suppression. And this bow is also a center shot bow, meaning that the arrow comes off the shelf. The shelf is dead center of the bow, meaning when you hold the bow, you're actually holding the dead center of the bow. So it's a little bit different than the other bows where usually the shelf is below the center. The HOYT VTM 34, what HOYT did this year is they obviously added the inline systems where you can connect a sight up the front here. It goes right on your riser. It's going to clamp on. They also did it on the rest. They also put holes in their bridge here to allow your cable to come through and feed into your cable system for your rest, for limb driven and or cable driven. They added the weight out front on the bows. And again, this is you know, a very steady shooting bow as well. They got the Vital Point grip, which this grip is really, really nice. It's got a lot of ergonomic to it and it feels very good in your hand. Very solid grip on this bow. So let's talk about the specs of the three bows and a little bit about the technology. All right, and checking out the specs of the three bows, we can see all the data is lined up right here for us. So let's start with the PRIME here. So axle is 34 inches, whereas the Mathews is 33 inches and the HOYT is 33.75 inches. So some slight differences there, PRIME being the only true 34 in this group. The other ones are very close, of course, with the HOYT being very close to that.
6.25 inch brace height on the Prime. The Mathews is 6.5, so you're getting a little bit more there. And the Hoyt is 6.25 as well, so identical with the Prime. For draw weights, we got Prime at 40 to 80 pounds. We got the Mathews at 60 to 75 pounds. And we got the Hoyt at a huge 30 to 80 pounds. So a lot of good variety there from Prime and Hoyt. Mathews isn't as much variety there, but again, I think when you buy these bows, you're kind of going to get set anyway to the weight that you're looking for. Draw lengths, so the Prime is going to give you 26.5 to 30.5, while the Mathews is 27 to 31.5, and the Hoyt is 26 to 31 inches. Now with that, for the Prime, if you need a 31 inch draw length, you would need to get the REVEX 6. So keep that in mind if you were looking to hit that 31 inch mark with that bow. When we look at the mass weight of the bows, the Prime is 4.6, the Mathews is 4.68, and the Hoyt is 4.6 as well. So pretty close in weight there, not much difference between the three. Feet per second, the Prime is looking at 340 IBO feet per second. The rating we got for that was around 318, 319 when we did our 2970. For the Mathews, they were saying 336 IBO. We were getting around 323. When looking at the Hoyt, they were claiming 334 feet per second ATA rating, and when we did ours, we came up with 331 BHP rating, which was really good. MSRP, the Prime is the lowest of these three at $12.99 MSRP. The Mathews goes up $100 at $13.99 MSRP, and the Hoyt goes up $150 at $14.49 MSRP. So these are all majorly different. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know what's there and how they are different. So all three cams are drastically different, and they all have their own technology in there. I'm not going to try to explain all the differences between these cams. You're just going to have to shoot these bows to get the best feel for what feels good for you. But the Prime will feature the new core cam. The Mathews features the cross-centric switch weight cam. And the Hoyt features the HBX Pro Cam. All three of these cams are very capable, very powerful, great shooting bows with these cams on here, so they're very nice to shoot.
All right, guys, just want to tell you real quick about the cams because we're talking about that right now. This is the HBX Pro Cam from Hoyt. This is the only one of these cams that is modular, meaning you can make the adjustments right on here, and you do not need separate mods to do that. Also has a spot for let off. You can adjust that as well. So that is the HBX Pro Cam from Hoyt. All right, this is the Prime Core Cam. This is what it looks like. It is a mod-specific cam, meaning you have to get the mod that fits you specifically. So if you're 29, this mod would be for 29, so different mods to do. But again, everything lines up over the center of this. It's one of the cool concepts that Prime came up with over the last couple of years to get to this core cam, which is really nice. All right, this is the Mathews Phase 433 cam. It's called the cross-centric switch weight cam. And this is a mod-specific cam as well, so you will need a specific mod to fit you as the archer. As you see, it's a huge, huge cam. It looks really good, and it is very smooth as well. So Mathews has been using this for a little while now. So you can see here on the phase dampening concept, there is a piece of material in the middle here, followed by a limb on each side that squishes it like a sandwich in the middle. That is on both limbs and on top and bottom. So that is what makes that different than the normal split limb bows.
The Prime has a really cool grip in the nano grip. Again, it's got some really cool technology to it when it comes to hot and cold. Definitely something to check out. The Mathews has the Engage grip. We've seen that a lot. Again, not my favorite because it has a little bit of a rounded backside, which isn't really for me necessarily, maybe for you, not for me. And Hoyt has an amazing grip in the Vital Point grip, an award-winning grip actually. And that grip has a little bit of rubberization to it, so it's a very nice feeling grip. As far as the limbs go, the Prime and the Hoyt both have just standard split limb, meaning they have 4 total limbs on the bow, whereas the new Phase 4 has the Resistance Phase Dampening, which is 4 limbs on top, 4 limbs on bottom for a total of 8 limbs. The limbs have a split of like a rubberized or some sort of material that goes in the middle of them. Some other technologies these bows have, the Prime features the center grip concept, where again, it centers the bow. They also feature the capability for the core rest. They also have a quiver system with tight spots. So they have some really cool stuff you can put on their bow and a lot of cool camos as well. For the Mathews, they feature the bridge lock system, so they got that in the sight and in the stabilizer. So you have 2 different options to go right through the riser with a dovetail. Pretty cool. They also feature the stay of field system, where you can lock out the limbs and change your strings or cables in the field. And they also have an area where you can use the integrate rest from QAD on their bow as well. For Hoyt, they got a whole bunch of cool stuff as well. They have the inline systems for their sight and the integrate concept, what they call it the inline on their rest. So the sight and the rest have a Picatinny system that will allow you to attach the sight on the front of the bow and the rest on the back side of the bow there. They also feature this cool thing this year, the drop cord slot, where they added a couple holes where you can put the cable cord for your rest going through that, so it's not rubbing on anything anymore like it used to.
All right, guys, speed testing the REVEX 4 from Prime. This bow is set at 2970 with a 350 grain arrow, first arrow. (318 feet per second). 450 grains. 284. 550 grains. 248 feet per second. 650 grains. 222 feet per second. All right, today we're gonna start real quick with the speed test. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. We're gonna use the BHP rating, 2970, 350 grain arrow being our first, 450, 550, and 650. Let's try it. 350 grains. 331 feet per second. 450 grains. 288 feet per second. 550 grains. 264 feet per second. 650 grains. 245. All right, guys, we're gonna speed test the Phase 433 from Mathews now. We said have it set at 29 inch draw, 70 pounds. We're going to go ahead and let them fling. All right, 350 grains. 323. 450 grains. 280. 550 grains. 258, 650 grains, 238. All right, guys, that is it. I hope you had a good time today checking out these bows head to head as I did. You got to see them, shoot. You got to hear the specs, the tech side of it, the speeds. I guess, what is your favorite out of these three? Which of the would you choose? What's more important to you of these bows? Were you more impressed with the Prime, the Mathews, or the Hoyt? Which of those bows do you think you would choose if you're going to the store to buy one today? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you guys had a good time today with us, checking out these bows and having fun. So we'll see you next time right here on BowHunterPlanet.